Calling all nerds. This is More Than Dice, the podcast where we dive deep into the realms of everything nerdy. Whether you're a nerd culture connoisseur, a tabletop titan, a miniature gaming marveler, or just someone who proudly embraces their inner geek, this is the podcast for you. And now here's your hosts, Gonzo, Nerd, and Mizzy.
Welcome to the More Than Dice, episode 310. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Mizzy.
Nerd is having some power issues, so she'll try to get in as soon as she can. So we'll have to just keep bugging her. I guess she's having power issues at her house, so she's trying to get back in as quickly as possible. But it is 310. We have really breached over a large thing. For people who don't know, this week was our 7-year anniversary. We've been doing this for 7 freaking years, which is kind of weird and kind of cool at the same time.
5 of that I have been actively watching / moderating.
I think I've only done 5 also. Actively. Or only remember the last 5. No. It was pretty interesting to see that.
Shut your face, Gonzo.
It was actually pretty interesting whenever the memory came up, because I remember when we first started that, it was me, John, and another guy named Seth that was going to be here. And then Seth couldn't do it because he had life. And so Kathy joined. And such, and then of course, Kathy's passed, and we picked up Nerd, and then John had to go do other things, and so we picked up Mizzy, which is okay. That's just how life goes. And so
Life be like that.
Life do be like that. And so it's interesting. I would think. I mean, we've done almost every Sunday. We skip maybe 6 or 7, maybe 8 Sundays type thing. So I mean, it's 310 episodes, and that's not counting all the extra stuff we put on the channel. This is 310 episodes, but I think we're over 700 things that we have on our, not only our SoundCloud, but our Patreon and other things, because we include all of our RPG sessions we record. We include all of our other podcasts that stream under us that we host and everything. So there is quite a bit of things to listen to on our channel, especially if you subscribe to our RSS feed. Of course,
the contents.
Most of it outside of us is Warmachine related, which is okay. Mizzy and I and the team have decided, we're not going to concentrate on Warmachine stuff because we're a variety show. And so we do all different channels and all different miniatures. So, we're gonna let other people talk about the minutia of the meta and the strategies and stuff like that, because that's what they're there for. We don't need another one of those, but we'll definitely give reviews of things, and which we're gonna give a review today of the Fire Tongue Warrior set that came out. That was waiting for me when I came back. I'm gonna put those together. Not much to put together, but
big excitement.
Yeah, and that way people can see the models, because I guess not many people have gotten the models or seen the models. I know our good friends Tried and True got an early release copy, which was cool. But not many people have seen them. So we're going to show them off while we talk about other things. But today's subject, we're going to be talking about why you should go to events, and also helping to foster newer players at events, and just newer players, period. Because we did that quite extensively this last weekend. But before that, we got to get to the business. We want to thank Muse on Minis for hosting our channel on Panera. Muse on Minis. Make sure you check out their channel. They've got a lot more stuff going up and a lot more at their store. We want to thank Cuttlefish Colors for their awesome sketch and glazing colors. You can find them on the Judgment, aka Creature Casters website. We want to thank Turbo Dork for their awesome metallic paints and turbo shifting paints. Make sure you go check them out. And I love their new bottles. By the way, people need to start using their new bottles. They're amazing. We want to thank Midnight Heroes, maker of Chibi Miniatures. He is working up and redoing the Midnight Heroes brand, so we'll see some new stuff coming up from that. We of course want to thank Creature Caster for sponsoring us. They provide us with 3D STL models for us to print, and they're the makers of Judgment. If you have a 3D resin 3D printer and you want to get some awesome miniatures and a 5th edition module, go check out their tribe on My Mini Factory, and you can get it's usually like 7 to 10 models and a 5th edition module to go with it, so you could use the models with the models with the modules. So, and yeah, JP in the channel just said that the Turbo Dork bottles are amazing. Turbo Dork is now using what are called what are they? The vape bottles, I guess is what it is. The vape juice bottles.
That's what I know them as.
Yeah, that's what most people know them as. And I haven't had a clog. I haven't had any spillage or leftover or anything drip from using them, so they're pretty fucking solid. Sorry.
Nice.
I highly recommend it. If anybody's gonna be doing dropper bottles or anything, those are the way to go. They might be expensive. I have no clue. Don't quote me on that. I don't know how expensive those bottles are, but they are definitely
Worth
legit. It. Oh yeah, highly worth it.
Nice.
We do have a shout out this week. We don't have any celebrities. We do.
We've got a community celebrity.
Yeah. So for people that don't know, one of our friends, Michelle Farnsworth, passed away. She had a 6-year battle with cancer. She passed away in her sleep. She was a big community member. Did a lot of stuff for Adepticon and a lot of stuff for her local community. Was a great painter. Followed her, everything that happened and everything, and it's still everybody saw it coming, and she told us, and she kept us in the loop and everything, but we didn't know when, and so we give a big shout out to Michelle for everything she's done for the community, and fuck cancer.
Yep.
So
big old fuck cancer.
Big old fuck cancer. So I know that they're doing donations in her name for stuff. So if you see anything, make sure you give it out there. And I'm sure probably Adepticon will say something. So, but fuck cancer.
Yep.
Do we have any other shout outs that we know of?
I am not aware of any others.
We'll give another big shout out to all of our Olympians for, going out there, because I know a lot of people spend a lot of money, being an Olympian and had to face a lot of challenges. So big shout out to our Olympians and them working their ass off for something. What was funny is I saw I was commenting the speed climbing competition, and they had to do like 3 runs, and it came down to the gold. And can you imagine all your work for 4 years comes down to 4.7 seconds? It was like the fastest time to get a gold medal, and it was 4.7 seconds.
Damn.
I'm like, 4 years of your life came down to 4.7 seconds.
I did see where it was one of the meter dashes where somebody had won by 1 second.
Oh, there was one of the ones.
It was like a 0.33 versus 0.34 or something.
Yeah, there was 1/100th of a second or something. Yeah. It's because of I saw that race, and he won by 1/100th of a second because his chest went over before the other guy's chest went over, and that's the reason why he won. And that's the rules. Doesn't matter if you're head, your chest has to get over, and once your chest gets over, that's when it counts.
Start puffing your chest out just a little bit more.
That's the reason why when you see them run and they get to the finish line, they kind of lean chest forward in, because the chest is what matters. Doesn't matter what your feet, your hands, your head, just your chest. So, yeah.
Eat yourself over that finish line.
Yeah. And I think there was the one where a guy leaped over to the finish line to get into a
Oh
spot.
shit.
He literally just leaped over into it, which, if it works, it works, type thing. So big shout out to all the Olympians. And it's more than 4 years of hard work. It's many, 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 many years.
Nope.
I think we have the Paralympics coming up next, which is in like a month or two or something like that, or a couple of weeks. I know a lot of people get into that too because I was watching like the people that do the long distance track running and they run with a partner, and I was like, man, that's going to be
Interesting.
cool. So one of the Olympians, her husband is a Paralympic, and they had been commenting about that, so I thought that was interesting to see and talk about. So, Mizzy, what are you going to be drinking tonight?
I have some citrus green tea because it's delicious.
Citrus green tea.
Yes,
All right.
it's num nums.
I'm doing the good old water. My throat's kind of sore, and we got. I mean, it got really nice this weekend. It wasn't like 900 degrees. It got down to like 70 and 60s. Um, I
It
wish it
was
was.
actually bearable
Yeah. It's like
and not swamp.
hopefully we can get better and better weather and cooler weather, but I'm sure we got a long ways to go. We're only in August, so.
It is August in the South. We are going to die.
So, hey, War Budgies, long time no see, buddy. By the
Hi.
way, if you haven't seen War Budgies, you don't know about War Budgies, make sure you go check out his channel. He's doing a lot of cool narrative stuff, especially with Warcaster. His City on Fire stuff is amazing. Make sure you go check him out on his
Hmm.
Facebook page and do everything. If you want to know anything about Warcaster, that's the person I always recommend. And on top of that, he's a pretty full fucking dude. So check him out. I know that he says that he's coming to Warfare Weekend. He's going to run like 17 Warcaster events. Isn't that right? War Buddy 17?
I thought it was 38.
It could be 38. Um, it could be 38. We never know with him. I mean, he just made he's not going to sleep. He's just going to run Warcaster events all weekend for 3 days straight. So,
High shenanigans. We're here for it. Yep.
guys, as always, make sure you take care of each other. Make sure that you look after each other. If you hear something, say something. If you can do something, do something. If you hear something, say something also. And if you feel like you can't do it yourself, find somebody to help you because we got to make sure we look after each other and take care of each other. Cheers.
Yep. Cheers.
Wait, one more.
Happy juice. Not even juice. Happy tea.
Happy tea.
Happy tea.
I'm gonna go switch over to the gun. Oh, I need to turn all this stuff on. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my camera.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Oh my god.
You're a pro streamer over there. I'm telling you.
Of course. That's why I get paid the big bucks to do this.
That's why you've been doing this for 7 years. You have everything figured out.
Everything. Everything.
All things.
All the things. All the small things.
War Budgies, your caffeine level, you're just gonna stick an IV in you and call it done, right? Like, I thought we talked about that.
For people who are just coming in, Nerd is having power issues. That's the reason why she's not here. You got a blank spot. I'll switch the camera around.
Nerd's in her goth phase.
Nerd's in her goth phase.
Does
she still have her goth makeup on?
Maybe, but I was here for it. She's got it as her profile picture now.
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everything.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why we're friends. We're budgies because we're on the same wavelength here.
Wait, you have friends?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't have friends.
I mean, you're the reason why I have friends because we all gang up on you and heckle you.
Sweet. Well, it sounds like I'm good for something.
I guess.
So, this past weekend, Captain Mizzy and I went to St. Louis to play in a Warmachine Tournament. We went to our good friend's game night, and they were running
Hmm.
a tournament. And of course, we always support everybody that we can. Yes, it was quite a far away, but we do what we can do.
It's only a 6-hour drive.
Only,
That's nothing for us.
yeah. Typically, that's nothing for us. Um, but um, they had 12 people show up, which was a pretty good turnout. Uh,
I think at least 4 of them, this was their first time playing Mark IV,
oh yeah.
which was
So
super exciting.
they showed up. We're going to be talking about and showing off the fire tongue
The
stuff too. So it
Fire
will be
Tongue
in.
Warriors.
Yeah. So this is the totems that have like advance. Um, they're deployed very distance in the arena, 12 inches further than the deployment zone.
A third.
Yeah, I think it's 12 inches. Um, got a
That's
little
why
bit
we
of
got an.
support still here.
There's an app for that. We can confirm in a moment.
Um, how is my? Hold on, I gotta move my camera over to the other screen so I can, because it
Got to
doesn't
see
look like.
things.
Well, it doesn't look like it's in focus.
It does not look like it's in focus. No,
There we go. How's that, folks?
that's much better. Get them details.
Yeah. A little bit of supports on this, and it's in between these two little fins, one's on the head and such. So nothing big. I mean, they're good quality. Nothing that makes it stand out. Of course, a little supports because everybody knows that these are 3D printed um, type thing. Um, no
You are
big
correct. It
scarring.
is 12
Yeah.
inches.
Yeah, war budgies. I would think it would be awesome to like kind of hollow this mouth out area and then put an LED, and it would be perfect. You would have to just drill a hole in the LED, drill a hole right here in the bottom, and run like an LED wire up in there, and put it right here.
That'd be sick.
Not seeing any layer lines. A very, 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 very tiny one, but it's nothing that primer is not gonna have a problem with. Um, I can tell the orientation that they printed these in was straight up and down, just because of the way the supports are. Because I can tell there was a support like right here, and then there were supports on the bottom of this, and then a few inside of here. But definitely that. I mean, they're solid. I mean, it's a hard resin, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with this.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm here for the detail.
yeah, it's got good detail on it. I'm not seeing any. There's not been any issues that I'm seeing on this. Nothing that would make me, you know, complain.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just very few supports to clean off of this model, and it's all little tiny ones that just you could break them off with
Yeah,
your finger. You could fit it in there, but can't do it.
that's why we got sharp carving knives.
Yeah.
Be careful. Don't stab yourself. Ask me how I
Um,
know.
because Mizzy stabs herself all the time. Um,
I got war stories.
so we since we went over that model, we went to game night and played in a 75-point steamroller. Quite a few people are very new, are returning players, or have played before, or we're currently playing Mark IV, but a lot of them are new to Mark IV. Um, and pretty much everything is now being considered just Warmachine, but the newest edition, and wanted to test out. And it was run by our good friend Nate M. If you don't know him, he very good player, made it onto the WTC team last year. Very, very personable. Has been doing a lot of good things for his local community. Shout out Nate M. Um, and so he was running it. He also did a little fun achievement a thing for um, people. So when they're playing, they can get achievements like lose every game or fail an assassination attempt. Just things for people to do while they're playing, and also people can still play the tournament, which was cool. That's a good thing for people that want to play in a tournament, but don't want to be uber competitive, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And I
filthy
think that,
casual
yeah,
stuff.
let you know, a lot of people want to play in tournaments, but they don't want to, and they know they're going to get, I don't want to say curb stomp, but that's the best way to put it. Um, and so they usually don't play in tournaments. So it was actually a really good idea that here's a steamroller. People are going to come in and do, are going to play their best list and everything. But here's something for the more casual player that get them to play, but they could get something else while they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was a really good idea for him. So shout out for him to doing that because we've got to start building a community back. And so that's a good idea. But Mizzy, why don't you talk about your? We only got to play 3 games because it was running late and we couldn't do the fourth. Although we could have, but a lot of people were like, "Well, I got like a 4-hour drive," and everybody's like, "Okay, we'll just call it there. No big deal, no problem." Um, it wasn't
First of all,
for qualifier, but 3 games in a day.
3 games is a lot, y'all.
3 games with no break too. We did not take a lunch break. We just played 3 games straight through.
Yeah.
So
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But I definitely woke up sore this morning because of standing and not taking a break. Like, take your breaks if you can. That's a thing. Take care of yourself, first of all. So I learned that halberds, when they charge, they can hit like a dump truck and they will kill you.
for what Mizzy's talking about, just still had halberdiers. We haven't seen them a lot lately because they're an older, they're a Mark III army, but they can hit pretty fucking hard when they're juiced up.
Yup. So I of course was playing my fire quill list with all my guns and all my movement shenanigans and whatnot, and those steelhead halberdiers crashed into my sky bomber and just beat the shit out of it. And I'm like, even with rough seas and everything that I could possibly do, I was dead in the water. There was nothing I could do, so I was just like, okay, yeah, I respect it, but fuck. Um, so I really liked seeing the older models in play and letting them and learning more about it and everything like that. So that was cool. My second game, I am sold on Chimera. Uh, because of the Wyverns. So my opponent was playing double Wyvern list in 75 points, and that was badass as fuck. So like I've been, kind of playing around with different lists and everything, seeing, what might else spark my interest other than Brine Bloods, because they will always have my heart. But, you know, want to expand, branch out, do the things and whatnot. And Chimera with their Wyverns that's legit for sure.
Yeah,
Because
19-inch threat, kill zone, and wreck faces.
uh-huh. Yeah. Definitely got wrecked. Got assassinated pretty quickly in that game, but it's all right. And then my third game, I actually almost won. It was against Kador, and I almost successfully did my first assassination by 4 health.
Yeah, you cranked the first one. I was watching that game because mine was done, and the first hit that she did, it was like, take 12 damage. Well, shit, type thing. And so,
Firequill can shoot. That is what he do, and he do it very well.
oh yeah. So
But I ran out of fury, and I think it also would have helped me if I didn't forget about one of my cannon crews for like 3 turns. That's a thing. Don't forget about your models.
cannon crews
um,
are legit. So
14-inch range on their guns, yeah.
this is the Warcaster, and his name is War Chief Bagadibon. Bagadibon. I don't know how to pronounce it, but two arms, and they're pegged, so you're easy to do it, and you can't mix them up because they've got different pegs, so you can't put them on the wrong side. Model wise,
Excellent.
cleaning, a little bit inside the mouth here, no big deal. Couple of little small supports, just tiny supports that can just get them off with your fingertip or whatever. Um, Nothing bad. Model looks really good. Got good solid detail. Um,
He got a floofy head.
yeah, floofy headdress. He is a frog type.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but looks good. No details. The flaming torches he's carrying, I guess you're gonna.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing no layer lines. Nothing that makes me do anything. The pegs are different size pegs. I can see if I can get them. You can see the different size pegs, so you can't mix up which one goes where. I'm not seeing not hardly any supports to go through. So I'll start putting this together. All right, Kills, keep going. Your Kador.
That's stupid. Yeah. So Kador, I have words. Um, it was against Tatiana. I remember that. I kept trying to hit, and I think I killed maybe one model, but then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna win this on scenario, and I'm not gonna win this by killing a whole bunch of things. So I'm just gonna fuck around and see if I can make this work. So I got in the trenches and did the things and ran out of fury.
Ran out of go-go juice.
I ran out of the go-go juice. So it was 4 health left on Tatiana and his turn, and I died.
Yeah, Mother Bear came up and decided to squish you.
Yeah. As Mother Bear do.
Yeah.
I poked the bear and I found out. So, Gonzo, how did your games go? I didn't get to see a whole lot of your action.
Oh. All right, so the peg on the second arm is a little. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of shaving on it. It's a little too thick to fit in completely.
That's what she said.
She did say that. So my first game was against the Chimera player that you played against, and I
Mm-hmm.
won on scenario. So for people to know, I was playing my Brine Bloods list. I was playing what you call it, Boom Howler, and the
Mommy
four,
Boomhowler.
yeah, Mama Boom Howler with um the 4 units of Marauder spam type thing. So it was very much a running spamming list with 2 units of boarding crew, and pretty much what it was a jam list, and get up there and just cause shenanigans and do what Brine Bloods do,
Yes.
um, type thing. Hold on a second, I'm trying to get this. And so I won on scenario. He just couldn't get enough stuff in there. He totally neutralized my army and all the tough checks and everything, because I couldn't tough at all because of his abilities. So I have no tough checks, but it was just too much for him to handle, and so he just had to deal with it.
What I'm hearing is it's your fault I got assassinated.
Well, suck less, noob. You got to learn how not to get assassinated. Um, and so I won on scenario, which was good. I like winning on scenario more than assassinating, because that's just how we be.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second one was against Nate M. He was playing just to play, and nobody really cared. I mean, nobody gives a damn. And almost won that by 1 point. But like I says, Nate was just playing to play. And so War Buddies suck less. That's what he said.
There's a lot
And
of things I could suck less at.
but it was a very good game about Nate M. I had him on the ropes for quite a bit. I could have won it the round before, but I messed up on something and it just didn't work out. No big deal. Not a problem.
You saying you made a mistake?
Yeah. And so
Maybe you should suck less.
that one I did. That one I should have caught that a lot sooner. But it was all great. Really good game with Nate. Very solid play. Had him on the ropes. He was like, "Damn, I didn't think that list would be as badass as it was," and it was. And he was like, "That was pretty cool." And so we had a really good game. It's always good to fight against really good competitive players that are there to play the game, but also have a good time while they're playing the game. He shook my hand like 3 times after it. He was like, "No, that was really fucking good." I'm like, "Cool, thanks." I'm going to zip kick this just a little bit. So that was a really good game. Type thing, and then after that, it was the last game, and I played against a guy playing Chimera again, and it was a very similar list to the one I played the first one. He went first, and I was like, ooh, because the scenario was very good for me to go second in that one. He moved up, and he didn't move up far enough on his first turn, and so my first turn, I just ran as far as I could, and I'm like as far and as just balls to the wall ran at him, and he learned not to shoot at
Don't shoot the boarding party.
don't shoot the boarding party under Mama's feet.
Oh no.
Because under Mama's feet, they're like defense 16. If you miss them, they get a dodge of 2, and then they get to throw a bomb at you. And the bomb is, AoE 2. And so he did that. And when he did that, I threw the bomb at him, hit the model, and killed the 2 models next to it. And he was like, "I'm not shooting at them anymore." I'm like, "Yeah, sorry about that." And he was not protecting the objectives very well. And so I went in and just on 2B, I had 4 or 5 control points right off the bat.
That tracks.
And so he was like at 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly. And then he just couldn't get to any of them. Couldn't get to anything. Couldn't contest enough type thing. So
He is here. Hi V.
Hey V.
Excited you here.
See, we could have had V come on. Just get her on Skype, have her come on, and she can watch us since Nerd is having power issues. But I won that one on scenario. I didn't say I felt bad, but I don't think I understood the speed because he was like, "Oh, I'm used to Troll Bloods." I'm like, "This is not Troll Bloods. This is Brine Bloods.
Troll Bloods.
It's Brine Bloods.
Troll Bloods and that they are cousins.
Yeah.
They are not the same. Pirates for life.
So here is the Warcaster finished. I got him glued on and put on and everything. Looks really cool. 2 flaming sticks.
We're going to call him War Chief B because I can't say his name.
War Chief B. Really good model. Really good fun pose. He's got up on one leg. And of course, like I said, they're frogs. Ooh, we got a support right here. Need to pop off.
Hi, Cookie.
So good solid model. Just glue on the arms, glue to the base, and you're done. You want to see the easiest model to put together for this army?
Yes.
Okay, give me 1 second. I got to get the base out too. Because it's all about the base.
All about that base.
All right, so there's the base. Here he is.
Base.
Big old frog.
Ah.
So this is the War Beast. The Vrogger. You have 1 piece to glue on them if you want to, and that is the tongue if you want to do the flaming tongue.
I was gonna say, where is his tongue? You gots to have
I
the tongue.
I am not going to do the tongue. One, it's going to be a pain in the butt to store in a bag.
I don't care.
I am not going to do the flaming tongue.
Is there potential to magnetize the tongue?
Oh, yeah, you could probably magnetize the tongue.
See, you just need to magnetize the tongue.
You could possibly magnetize the tongue. Let me break off. I'm going to break off some of the supports. So going back to the game, I felt kind of bad, but I didn't feel bad. I was just like the guy. The guy thought, he was like, I know Troll Bloods, and I'm like, okay. And Brine Bloods are not Troll Bloods in the traditional sense. They are trolls. They are cousins, but the way they act is completely different, and they are super super fast and hit super fucking hard. And they don't care
Mhm.
about their war beasts as much, or at least my list doesn't care about the war beasts as much, just for the simple fact that it's just,
You got all that troops.
yeah, I got a troop spam list. Um, so it was they hit hard, they move up fast, and it did really really well. It did
Oh,
exactly what I
Gonzo,
wanted. Yeah.
is there a divot in the frog mouth
Yes.
for a magnet?
Yes.
Okay,
Let me see. Let me get a little bit closer.
JP pointed that out.
So if you look right here in the mouth, there is this little divot right here that you could do it.
Perfect.
And so here's the bottom of the tongue. So you could put a little bitty tiny magnet, or even just a stick. You could put, a pin, and you could pin it in there. I mean, it needs to be shaped up a little bit anyway, because I think this right here is a little bit too long,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be easier to shave this than to carve inside the mouth. So you could technically magnetize, or you could drill a stick in there and just, drill it into the back of his mouth so you could pull it in and out. I may do that. I
Do
just know
it.
I'm not going to glue the tongue in, because I have
Yeah,
a feeling that's going to break right off the bat.
that's fair.
So, but I mean, and the model is really cool. I mean, look at all the little bitty warts and everything on the model.
I love him so much.
They did make an alternate pose of him that you can buy separately, but I need to buy 2 sets, and since I'll have 2 sets, don't have to worry.
Yes,
So
we need all the frogs.
all the frogs.
All the frogs.
Get back down here. But it was a good game. The guy learned a lot. He was like, I'm just not used to this. And I'm like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But it was very casual. It did play on a casual time. We
Mm-hmm.
did an hour time for people, so people could, not feel rushed while they were playing, which is good. But
Can confirm it does help.
yeah, it does help for, and like I said, there's a lot of new players. And when you have a lot of new players, you know, let them have, the extra time. Nobody's going to care. Like I said, this wasn't for like a major points or, anything, some qualifying championship. It was just a steamroller for people to have fun.
Yep.
But there is the War Beast. Very,
I love
very,
him.
very solid. Very awesome. But
Where's
I know what you're looking for. I know what you're waiting for.
uh-huh.
I'm getting her out.
Yes. Gimme.
Let me tape up the space. But it was a good time. It was nice to see Chimera was represented pretty well. There
Mm-hmm.
were the new Kador, old Menoth, me and you, of course, were the Troll Bloods, um, old Mercs.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there was a good representation. It wasn't, nobody was, there wasn't a good
Nothing
big
was
dominating or whatever. I guess you want to put it.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Nothing was like majorly represented. There wasn't a saturation of just like one army. It was a nice variety.
Yeah. Um,
Which is great because that means more learning opportunities for everyone.
Oh no, my camera is out focus and I can't fix it. So this is Magua Bagua.
Gonzo,
All right,
this
hold
is why you're an asshole.
on. So this is a model that Mizzy was dying to see. This is Magua Bagua. That's how I pronounce it, and it is a frog riding a turtle.
Turtle.
It is a character solo. Got a big old hat and a big old flaming staff
Yes.
type thing. Uh, got a few things I need to break off and get the thing. This model is really really nice. I really like this model. It's a lot. It's a good fun model. It does really cool stuff in the game that I really like. Enliven, ancillary attack, a bunch of cool fun stuff. Um,
She will get a lot of table time with me because I love her
yeah,
and she does really cool stuff.
yeah, I think it's her. I don't know. We haven't had. Do we? Have we gotten a story with her in it yet?
I'm gonna say she, they until further notice.
Yeah, I have no clue. But it is a frog riding a turtle. Very, very interesting little thing. I thought this was a really cool model. I wish, because she's also got a frog on top of her hat. If you can't see it,
Oh, she does. I forgot about that detail. That's exciting.
yeah, got an extra frog on top of her hat. Until they tell us otherwise, we're doing the she.
Here for it.
But I like this model a lot. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, big old fat frog on a turtle.
Yes.
Very cool. One solid piece. Nothing there to worry about. Um, Character solo, nice and fun. Which talking about it, I was talking to Mizzy today. I've been trying to find a list to use Big Pig in, um, and I just couldn't figure out a list to do it in because I'm like, I like my brine bloods are my brine bloods, and I like the way that they are, and I don't feel like they need Big Pig in it because of the way they do. Until I was like, you know what? I could put frogs and Big Pig together. And
Yes, you could.
And I found a list that I can do frogs and big pigs, which sounds like it also looks like it's going to be a lot of fun too. So Magua Bagua, they are really really cool. I like them a lot. Now I'll bring out the shamans, but everybody had a good time. Everybody, was laughing and enjoying. Even the people that were, having to learn new things and get things done. Everybody had a good time, which was what the point of the whole thing was, is to just enjoy playing the game and do a lot of cool stuff with it. Where did he go? Where's my third shaman?
Had a lot of fun, made a lot of shooty boom boom noises and lots of claw action happening.
Yeah.
Great times.
Yeah, there would be plenty of people. Like I said, one of the things that we noticed, of course, there were a lot of new players. And so there were a lot of people trying to get back into the game. Um, I had a couple of people message me after the event and were talking to me about it, and they were like, I heard that they're doing more Warmachine, and then, of course, us being influencers, I hate that word, but that's kind of what we do. A gentleman reached out to me today, and he was like, "I'm seeing all this stuff you're doing on your channel, and I see your Warmachine stuff, and I'm in. I'm in. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to do it." And I says, "Well, here's the group," and he's a local to St. Louis, so they'll get another player, which is good.
Sweet.
And he plays other games too, but that's just got to do it. And he's like, "I like the Brine Bloods and everything," but I'm definitely looking forward to Grave Diggers. And I'm like, you and a crap ton of other people are also.
Hashtag all of us.
All of us. Everybody's looking for Grave Diggers. So you've got to. The one thing about this tournament, Nate did it very well. We had great terrain. They got to use Warfare Weekend's terrain, which is really good. So good 3D terrain. And then he lowered the difficulty of the game a little bit for a steamroller to allow people to get, 10 extra minutes during their time, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 extra minutes to play. on their death clock, which is good because everybody's new. Um, and then also giving an achievement system to people to go for if they want to. That way, it keeps people playing.
Mhm.
Because a lot of people, they do a tournament and they don't win the first or second round, they immediately drop and they're just done. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But doing that little system gives people that are new to the game something to do if they're not going to win first place or win that prize, which was good.
And even if you lose every single game, you still achieved something.
Yeah, yeah. He made up the achievements, and one of the achievements was lose every single game. And there were different achievements that just kept people playing. So
Or
the next unit,
forget your feet for a turn, or forget your ambush until like turn 3 or later or something like that.
yeah.
It was cool. What's your next unit, Gonzo?
This is the shamans. Here's model number
Okay.
1. These are a 3-man unit. They cause problems to casters, and I don't I don't think I would use this maybe in 100 points, but not at 75. Um, I think I got better points to use, but they're amazing sculpts. I mean, check out the big, wooden masks and such.
Oh yeah.
Good,
No,
solid frog model. There's
nice.
model number 1. Here's model number 2. Break off
Are they
supports.
are they all different sculpts?
They are all different sculpts.
I
Um,
love that.
so one thing I like about the new, since they're smaller units and such,
Mm-hmm.
everything you can have multiple poses without causing any problems. That way, nothing feels like a resculpt.
And you can tell the difference between your models that way too. That way, if you have to mark them A, B, C, or whatever, then
Yeah,
you know, because that's kind of what I did with my reef trolls. Even though they all have the same build, I painted their starfish differently so that I could keep track of which one was what.
I do like
Love
this
it.
one. This guy's got his tongue sticking out. So
Yas.
he's got one. Oh, it does kind of look like it does. Yeah. This one's a very nice sculpt with the big old tongue sticking out. And here's the
That's
third sculpt.
hilarious. I love it.
Him on one foot, dancing.
That tracks.
So this one's a good solid sculpt. Very nice. Like I said, still a few small little supports to break off, but much easier to clean, much easier to get together. Nothing that makes me go, oh my God. I'm not going to be sitting here for hours trying to put together a model. Um,
You get it on the table faster.
yep. Super easy. Very little supports. But yeah, this unit is a shaman unit, and they cause shenanigans and do a little bit of spell staff. Not one I would
Here for it.
typically play with, but I'm not too worried about it.
They're going to be a blast of paint, though, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, these guys are going to be fun as hell to paint. The mask and everything, especially the guy with the tongue hanging out.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
all for that. I'm all for it. JP said, uh, he's like, he prefers to be known content creator. I've never influenced anyone.
I am a
um,
nerd on the internet with opinions. If I am influencing you, that is on you. I'm just here to talk
yeah.
and do things.
But I mean, these are really nice sculpts. I don't think I would take them much in a list. They're just not my style for the list I want to build. Because the list, I got a 75 point list I'm going to build. I have a 100-point version with the frogs. Um, but this is not, they just don't fit in there for me. Could be some pretty cool stuff though.
Indeed.
Wink.
Do.
And I'm just zip kicking them in so we don't get stuff thrown over. So solid model, solid, cool looking Unga Bungas. Then we'll do the
Fire spitters?
no, we'll do the solo with the big old flaming staffs, big old flaming war clubs. He's 2 pieces.
Oh, the Fugue Walker.
Yeah, with
Nice.
a pegging system on that one arm, which I'm gonna have to trim down. It'll wedge in there. Very big, long model. It's a cool model. Just gonna be a pain in the butt to store in a bag because of how long everything is.
Mm-hmm.
So, clean supports. But the one thing, like I says, I enjoy competitive play. I also enjoy narrative play. And the one thing that I'm really enjoying about with this new edition, and it's not the new edition that's doing it, it's the player's mindset in this edition is we've got to get players back to the table playing. We've got to make sure we get everybody there to do it. And the one thing that Nate did is, yes, this is a tournament. Yes, people are going to be bringing their bullshit lists. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But here's something that you can do also that if you're not there for the uber competitive, you could also have fun.
Yes. Gonzo, hydrate.
Oh.
We got a hell hydrate.
Oh, hell hydrate.
Thanks, War Budgies. We need all the self-care help we can get.
Hey, Bruiserker. You can link your stuff in here in the channel if you want to. There's no problem with that if you want to link a picture.
Absolutely. Give us the cool stuff.
But and you know what's funny is the atmosphere was very chill and relaxed too. Nobody was like, "Oh no, you already said you were going to do this." I mean, Nate gives the spiel of make sure you're clear intention. Hey, I'm meant to move up 12 inches, blah blah blah, type thing that you always hear from tournaments. But the attitude of the players was very very good. Everybody was taking their time. I remember you told the guy to pause his clock so he can go pee, and he's like, "Nope, I'm running on my clock. I'm doing it on my clock."
Yup.
Type thing, and just how things go, and you were doing it, but you let him. Oh, this guy's got 2 frogs on his body, so he got a frog right here, and then he's got another frog right back here.
Frogception.
He's got 3 frogs. There's another one back here.
Oh, the frogs.
So, by the way, my frogs are not going to be green. They're going to be red like my brine bloods.
That tracks.
They're going to be red, and I think I'm going to do the flames instead of doing red flame. I'm going to do like a spooky green or blue. I'm not sure yet.
Ooh,
but I'm definitely that way the flame doesn't mess with the red on the body.
Mm-hmm.
But I may do a green or a blue. I'm not sure yet because they are spirit type based models, and their story about him is kind of spirit based.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially with his feet making things incorporeal, so we'll have to wait and see. It was a very good and chilled, relaxed, and I think a lot of people should make sure that they try to do something like that for to encourage people that aren't the competitive players to come out and have a good time too.
Yes.
I think that if he would have maybe had made that announcement earlier that he was doing like a little achievement system, might have had some more people come out, and people would have probably played it a little bit more too. So I played their list a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Because like I said, people want to come out and play their games, and if the only way they can play is a tournament, and if they're just going to get curb stomped, they're not going to want to play. But you give them something to do while they're playing, great. But if you're signing up for like an invitational or anything like that, any uber competitive type tournament, it's gonna be cutthroat, and it's just because people are playing because it's a championship type thing. But if it's your local guys just having fun, have a steamroller, but go, hey guys, we've got also this achievement system we're gonna do too to give you something to do, especially for learning, because there's a lot of people that are still learning Mark IV. Because my first match, The guy next to me, for people that don't know, they're not familiar with Warmachine. You had to measure every single model when you moved it. Now you just move one model and then you drop everybody around it. Um, and so um, the guy next to me, when he was started playing, he started moving one model and then measuring from model to model. Says, guys, we're at Mark 4. You got to remember, you just move one model and drop everything around. And he goes, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeet a
And
boy and then yeet the rest.
yeah, and he was like, that's right. And he started doing it. It's like, man, that's so much quicker. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Way, way quicker than you think.
All you gotta think about is one model and pile in the rest at 2 inches. You're golden.
Yeah. And so, because I mean, people want to play with the toys they bought. I mean, that's just how it is. And to doing an achievement system while they are doing it, while they're playing in a tournament, very good, very fun.
Yes.
High marks for Nate for doing that.
Good job. This is
So-
why we're friends.
And this is what we need. We need good community people. Nate is a very high competitive player, but he realizes, hey, if I'm going to be able to keep playing, I've got to make sure that I'm building the community with other people too.
And not acting like a jerk.
Yeah, Nate's a very nice, sweet guy. So if you see him anywhere, say hi, jump around, blah blah blah. So
We
this
got
is the
a picture.
feud.
Okay. That's a creepy boy.
Hold on, I gotta see. Let me see. Oh, close. That is kind of creepy.
I like it. We here for it.
um,
Good job.
we're almost ready to go to the media section. I'm glad everybody decided to jump in and hang out with us. We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of this model. How the arm reach of this thing. You can have
Thing
3
is
of these.
huge.
Yeah. I mean, he's got huge reach.
Hold up, 3 of them?
You can
What?
field 3 of these guys.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you can field 3. They are FA3.
I got some high armor too. Fuck.
Yeah, he's pretty solid. He's a good solid model. We're not gonna have a chance to. We'll just show you instead of putting all the models. This is the unit. They can throw fire and hit hard and go to shield wall.
Tongue action. Here for it.
Yeah, that's model number 1. This one's got major tongue action. Check that tongue out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, solid.
Get some drill specks flying off of it.
Oh yeah, I could actually do that. I could get some resin and do it off the end of that clear resin and do it.
Do it.
Model number 3. He's got his tongue on the flame, shooting it out because they can actually spit fire.
Yes.
Very short range. I think it's only like 8 inches. Very good detail. I'm not seeing any issues. Small supports. Who gives a damn? Going to be a very cool looking army once it's on the board and painted.
Their flame shot is range 10.
Oh, is it range 10? Even better. Check out this one. This one's got his tongue in his little container getting
That's so
to
fucking
throw
cool.
So I mean, there's huge ringing tongue sticking out.
I cannot wait to get my hands on these things. It's gonna be so fucking cool.
And then the last one.
Yep, those are the fire spitters.
Yep. The advanced deployer, ambush, and Pathfinder, fling fire, shield wall. Very good. Models are great. I had no breakages on this. I know people like to ask that. They look very solid. Going to be fun to paint. Got good detail on them. No issues with 3D printing. Supports are where they're supposed to be. You need to, like I said, you got to break out some of those tiny, tiny, tiny supports, but there's no issues whatsoever.
Mhm.
Um, this tongue, I mean, if you're rough with it, that tongue may break if you put way too much pressure on it. But you really got to put some pressure on that tongue to break it. But arms and everything else, very solid. Not worried about any breakages or anything on this. But I will work on those later. But good job, a really good one. Um, so like I said, I got a list that I'm gonna combine him with Big Pig, and the Big Pig and him are gonna jump off and have fun. Um, Other than that, you have any questions about the frogs? Oh, posture check.
I got posture.
Thanks. Get that one.
I
Put
needed
on
a,
my cap
I
stuff on.
needed a posture check yesterday.
Oh yeah.
All the frogs.
Yep. All the frogs. I need to get a second one. The second one because I need 2 units of these. I'm going to be playing with 2 of these. 2 frogs. In my 75 point list. Magua Bagua and of course Big Pig. For everybody's wondering what Big Pig I'm talking about, it's this Big Pig.
I didn't realize you had got him already. Oh shit.
Yeah, I've got Big Pig. I've had Big Pig for a little bit. I was just trying to find a list to put him in. It was one of the new 80 millimeter war beasts. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Used extremely heavily in the WTC. But yeah, this is Big Pig with big guns.
He make a lot of bacon.
Yeah. So my list will
Eh,
include Big Pig in it. So,
Noise.
be fun to
And he
play.
will shoot you off the table.
Yes, he will blow
I have
you up.
I have been a victim.
He will shoot like crazy.
Uh-huh.
So,
E3 shots plus 1? Yeah.
twice.
He'll fuck you up.
All right. Let's go to our media section.
Yeah.
So we got quite a few media stuff to talk about. For everybody who's new to the channel, we always do a little bit of media section. We have 2 review schedules that we have to do this. Let me get a drink. We can rate things from Casablanca to Cats, with Casablanca being the greatest movie ever made and Cats being the worst movie ever made. Or if you are a 80s movies fan, we have what is called the space herpes rating. The fewer space herpes, the better, because you do not want space herpes. And if you have ever seen the movie, and you should, because it is a classic movie, you should see Ice Pirates. Here goes Mizzy rolling her eyes.
You do what you want with your life.
Ice Pirates is an old
Mm.
80s movie that was trying to capitalize on all the stuff, Star Wars and everything. And it's a movie to see that, like, crap, they got rid of they did that back in the movies. Yes, they did that back in the movies, and they said those things. And it's got some good comedy effects, but it is very much an 80s movie.
It
But
is
there is a
very
creature in there
dated.
called the Space Herpy, and our rating system is the fewer the Space Herpies, the better. So that's where it comes from. Go check out Ice Pirates. It's hilarious. Um,
You do what you want with your life. I'm
first
not
thing I'm
here to
going to
tell you
talk
what to
about.
do.
First thing I'm going to talk about is I did do some reading, and Mizzy got to read this, so she can kind of do a little bit of reading on it. One of my Kickstarters finally fulfilled, and later War Buddies, and you know me. If you know me, I collect RPGs like they're going out of style, and I collect a lot of them. And so my RPG of Break came in. Break is based off of an anime. It's based off an anime. Period. Like the classes, like one of them is you're a merchant with a giant backpack, and that's like your shtick is a giant backpack. Like here's the picture of the person. So And then you've got like what is it? What's the other one? You've got a sneak, which is kind of like the thief. You've got a champion. Um, what was the a raider, which is kind of like a ranger. Um, battle princess, murder
Murder
princess.
Princess.
Yeah, murder princess. Um, let's see what else was there. There's like a sage, like a spellcaster, but you can play. There's like a bunch of different races. There's like a goblin race. There's like a chibi race. Um,
Thanks
there's
for
a
stopping in,
troll.
Bruiser.
Do what?
Bruiser is also jumping out, so thanks for stopping
Okay,
by.
thanks a lot. Um, there's a troll. There's two type of humans. There's humans from this world, and you could play a human from our world that got trapped in this anime fantasy world. Um, and it's kind of stereotypical too. I got to show it because it's just hilarious.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
so this picture is
Y'all gotta
amazing.
prepare yourselves, okay?
So
Take a
this
moment.
so you can play a human from our world that gets trapped in this anime world. Um, and so the funny part is they give you like a silhouette of the person in like underwear so you can see it. And like, damn, did they do the neck beard bad? I mean,
The neck beard is what you want to talk about?
okay, he's
The
hiding
neck
his nipples.
beard.
You mean him hiding his nipples? They got like a plant person, a cat person, a demon person, a troll person, a goblin, a dwarves, elves, um, robot or android types.
Oh,
But this thing
I
is
want the grun.
the
I want to be a
grunners.
grun.
This is the grun. They're like a
Grun.
troll type. This thing is it's a very simple system. It's D20, roll the number or higher on 1D20 type thing. It is so much anime inspired that I could probably do a Delicious in Dungeon game with this. And I already nicknamed it Culinary in the Catacombs
Yes.
type thing. But so far, everything I've read, everything I've liked, because they do tell you that this game is more like an episodic. Um, so you could, it gives you a world. They say that you do a lot of scenario basing, but everything's got quirk. The art is very nice in there, very chibi, very anime, very Miyazaki type stuff too in here.
It is heavily influenced on Studio Ghibli, and I
Yeah,
am about it. Like,
yeah.
Gonzo showed me that picture of the lady with the backpack, and I was like, that reminds me of a character in Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah, 100% Studio Ghibli look to it. Very much. The rules are very, very simple, very easy to figure out. Got some cool quirks to characters because you could technically roll up a random character and you roll up like all the random quirks because everybody has a quirk based on their race and where they're from. So I mean,
Hmm.
nothing bad. Um, I could see this could be an easy. You could run this at a conventions very easily.
Oh yeah,
Very, very simple to run in a convention. You could do a good, one shot. You could do a campaign, but it's definitely a good fun system that people can get into.
maybe do a one shot at Warfare Weekend on the.
Now this year, I'm not doing anything this year. But no, you could have it. It's a good solid. I mean, rules very system 1d20, hit the target number or over type thing. Weapons do a set amount of damage. Things do a set amount of damage, so it's not that big of a deal. Um, but it's pretty good. I mean, it's a total of 469 pages, pretty much. Um, but it's got good quirks. It's got a lot of into it. It also has a lot of NPCs, a lot of things about the world too. But if you like anime, if you like Studio Ghibli stuff, uh, fantasy, RPGs, I highly recommend it. Go get a copy of it. Break. I give it probably like a 1 space RP. I haven't been able to dig too much into it. I didn't like that whenever I was reading it, they wanted you to play more episodic instead of more campaign, and I'm like, nah, this could be good campaign. So, Ms., what's your first media?
My first one is going to get everybody in the feels. I was interested in this movie because I saw a giant purple creature monster thing that looked adorable, and I was not prepared to get my feelings hurt watching If.
I warned you about that. I said prepare for emotions.
Look, I was interested in it before you gave me the warning. I understand that you gave me the warning, but I still was not fully prepared.
So what
'Cause
is
I
If?
don't listen. If is this story about this little girl who loses her mom to cancer, I think.
I think so.
Some type of big bad thing in the world, and she like takes herself so seriously and everything, and then it turns out that she can see other people's imaginary friends, or ifs as they're called. And so it's just this beautiful story of her navigating all of this stuff that she's going through in life, and then helping others reconnect with their imaginary friends. And it's
Oh, you
just
forgot
it's
that also her father is actually sick in this and is possibly dying of
yes,
something. So that's the reason why
yes,
she gets back into this. But yeah.
yeah. I'm terrible at explaining things, you know this. That
But yeah, that's what kicks
anyway,
her off to doing this.
yes. So it's this really great story. I was almost crying, and the person that I was watching with was bawling her eyeballs out. So, um, I'm gonna give it a 0 because it's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't give.
It,
I saw this before y'all did,
uh-huh.
and um, Ryan Reynolds plays in it, and we're not going to spoil it because it actually ruins some of the story if you spoil the ending of it. Um, it is very lighthearted. It is very tongue in cheek. It is very sweet. It is very energetic. Um, it is very fun, but it has a story and a meaning behind it, and the story and meaning behind it, when you watch it to the very end, you're just like a blubbering mess
Uh-huh.
because of what happens.
It,
Um,
it, yeah. Prepare for feels.
I liked it too. It was a lot of good fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So highly recommend it if you want to grab some tissues so you can watch it. But highly recommend watching If. What was it on Paramount?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's free.
Um,
It's a sleeper hit. I think it was. It reminds me. I don't know if anybody's seen.
yeah, Paramount.
There May Be Giants. Or I Kill Giants. I Kill Giants is another one. I read the trade paperback first, and then I saw the show, and the show was still good. Um, the book was better, of course. The graphic novel was better, but even the movie was still pretty good.
The book is always better.
Yeah.
That's the law.
So anything else you want to say about
Um, grab your comfort buddy and snuggle up and prepare for feels. That's all I got.
Yeah, definitely prepare for the feels. Next thing I did is, of course, this weekend I picked up the Marvel Multiverse role playing game. Um, I've been holding off on it because I was going to wait until the X-Men supplement came out, because I wanted the X-Men supplement to go with it. But of course, this weekend came up, and I won some money, so I bought some RPGs. Um, this Marvel Multiverse RPG, they give you characters, so you have character stats for like Spider-Man and all the different superheroes, and they give you a plethora of Marvel superheroes in here, from the different everything, and it's really interesting. The system is very, very easy. It is 3d6. One of your dice has to be a different color. And if you roll a one on that dice, something really awesome happens. It's called the Marvel die. Um, and pretty much what you do is you add up all three dice, and if you meet or beat the target number, or beat the, you meet the target number, you do stuff. It's successful. If you roll the Marvel, which is the one on that special die, it does bigger stuff, which could mean you do double damage when you hit somebody, or if you have a special
Mhm.
power, it could do whatever. If you roll a six, and then the Marvel one, it does even bigger stuff. So you can do different things. Powers. I'm working through the power system right now. Um, going through it because there's a ton of things. Because they tell you how to do a backstory, they tell you to do powers, how to do other things, um, type stuff, and I do like it that even though if you rolled the 6/6 Marvel, the example is Hulk, even though he's, unbelievably strong and you can do almost the impossible, you can't hit the planet out of its trajectory by jumping on it or smashing into it or whatever. Just not going to happen. You just have to say that's not going to happen. They do have you can get a ton of superpowers. They give you bonuses if you take them in like different groupings, like spider powers. If you take all the spider powers, if you buy them by groupings, you get better benefits and stuff. I haven't read through this completely enough, but I was curious about the system. System seems very easy. If I were to run this, I would probably do something like the Mutant Hunting Chronicles, of where the mutants are hunted by sentinels and the far off apocalypse, which is I hope they do that story anyway. And of
Hmm.
course, my boy is on the front of the Marvel. Look at that! Look at that boy!
Of
Look at him!
course.
Look at my boy Nightcrawler with his goatee going there. Um, and this is I wanted to buy the X Men supplement to go with it, because you know me, I'm a mutant guy,
Yes.
um, and I'm really cool. And the X Men expansion is mostly it's about all the X teams, X Factor, Excalibur, so on and so forth, and gives like the way their mansions and all this other stuff. So it's just a good supplemental book. I'm not going to review it yet because I want to finish reading the system. But if I were to run this, I would let people make their own characters, and I would do something in like the mutant hunting, so they're like on the run constantly, and trying to post-apocalyptic world type thing. Because I don't want to do like Secret Wars or anything of that nature. So
Cool.
highly looking at it. It sounds interesting. Sounds fun.
And
Mizzy?
X-Men. So after we got our feelings hurt watching If, we needed some comfort movie time, and we decided to watch The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Um, Soundtrack on this thing is fantastic. Um, Good story. Nicolas Cage is cool. Does the stuff. Alfred Molina is probably one of my favorite characters that's really underrated in my opinion. I love his acting so much. Um, oh yeah, I
Sorcerer's
scrolled
Apprentice.
for a minute. Yeah, I scrolled for a minute. Sorry. Yeah. So, really great story about this dorky little kid who's all into science, and it's science meets magic meets fun shenanigans, and the Tesla coils are the coolest thing in this movie. So, um, story wise, I'll give it a 1.5 overall, but it's good comfort. It's fun.
I think I saw that long time ago.
You probably did, yeah.
Yeah.
Gonzo?
So going back with the um more stuff I bought yesterday. I bought the Pathfinder Core Rule Player Core 2, which adds more player characters, more player races. And so it's just a good expansion. They got the new races in here is cat people, hobgoblin, hyena types, kobolds, lizard folk, rat folk, crows, tengu, and tripki, which are frogs. The new races or the new classes is alchemist, barbarian, champion, investigator, monk, oracle, sorcerer, and swashbuckler. And no big surprise that Mizzy wants to play a frog swashbuckler.
No one is surprised. No one.
Yeah, no one is. And so it's just more expansions to go on it. Champion, for people who don't know, is actually Paladin, but of course they can't say Paladin because it's almost copyright by, you know, D&D. But it just adds more classes, more backgrounds, a little bit more stuff to add to the game, which is good. More options is better for some people. New archetypes. Um, you can play
I
a
do remember.
vampire.
I do remember reading about the rage mechanic on their barbarian. They changed it from the traditional one.
Yeah,
It's different and cool.
yeah. And so like the monk is a little bit different. Everything's just a little bit tweaked, but it is Pathfinder. Pathfinder's known for a pretty robust system. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, there's not really a rating for this. It gives some new magic items, some other stuff. It's just an expansion book. If you're playing Pathfinder and you want more stuff, I highly recommend it. Give that a 0 because I mean it's just got cool stuff in it.
Frog
Hmm.
pirates.
Yeah, frog pirates. Mizzy.
um, hold on, list. So in watching Sorcerer's Apprentice, we were on a Nick Cage um movie kick, and we found Season of the Witch.
Oh, yep.
That um this movie is a giant D&D game, but it's so good at the same time. Um well, maybe not so good, but like it's got good bones to it. It's kind of meh. It's something that you could watch and do other things with if you wanted to. So it gets the 2.53 rating, but we were about halfway through and I was like, wait a minute. I can class all of these people playing a D&D game right now.
Yeah.
Cuz you've got Ron Perlman, who's like barbarian soldier dude, who's only fighting in the Crusades because he's got sins to pay off. You've got Nick Cage's character who's actually wants to, serve God and everything, so like paladin, but he's sick of the corrupt and, trying to distinguish between what is actually in God's name versus what the humans are classifying as sin type of thing. So he's battling with that, and then you got the witch thing, and it's just it's fun, but it gets the meh overall reading. So
The meh.
it's just okay.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah.
My last one that I'm going to do RPG wise, I picked up, and this was a gift, was the One Ring, the free League edition, not the fifth edition. Not the D&D 5th edition rules. It's the free league rules. I really like this. I've always been a big fan of the Middle Earth role playing game because it's low sorcery but high challenging. So this one was. I think this is the best rendition I've had of the One Ring RPG. I thoroughly enjoy it. The classes are so good and solid. The rules are simple and easy. They do include the travel stuff and downtime. So in the game, you go on adventuring and you do things, but then you have to take downtime because you get wore down and the evil goes on you and all this other stuff, and so you have to you know chill out and get rid of all like the taint of the evil that's happening. Um, if you like low magic but good storytelling and a lot of good things to go with it, I highly recommend the Marvel. I mean the One Ring RPG. There's a couple expansions out for it. I just wanted the core for right now. I definitely like this one a lot. I think it's really really good. I think it's a lot of fun. Um, got good storytelling into it. Highly recommend it. It gives me a 0 and an enthusiastic 0 on it. Um, if you definitely, like I said, if you want to have a good, fun game system, that one I would go with.
Nice.
Miss?
Um, I think that's it for me because I talked about Dragon Prince last week.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's it for me.
Okay. My next one is I watched. This is a spoiler-free review. The last season of Umbrella Academy came out. I think it's only like 6 episodes and 30-minute episodes, so it's a pretty quick and easy watch.
I can knock that out this week. Great.
Yeah, you can knock that out no problem. I knocked it out today. Um, I've always been a fan of the Umbrella Academy. It's, a dark, fun art, comic and everything. I think it's going to be, it was a comic first and got put in a TV series. I think the downfall of this whole series is it took too long to film and get everything done. And so the actors and the characters started mishmashing, having problems. Um, and I like Umbrella Academy as a series. Um, this season was not that good. This final season was not that great. Um, there was
Did
some
they
cool stuff.
round out the story?
Honestly, it's like a whole new story on top of it, and it just felt like, why are we going to introduce something new? Just finish out the story type thing. Um, it does give an ending, so there is an ending, so you know what's happening, and it finishes. But I think it's the weakest of all the seasons, in my opinion, which kind of stinks. Um, Was it okay? Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't, the greatest, but I definitely, I liked it. I thought it was fun. It gives me a meh train. It gives about a 2 to 2.5 because it just wasn't great. Um, I wish they would have done a whole lot more. It definitely didn't get the feels that it was like the last seasons. Kind of feels rushed, kind of feels like it was just, here's part of the story. And I've only read a little bit of the comic, so I don't know if it did the entire, thing that was going on. But from what I read from other people, that yes, it did follow the book pretty good. The comic's pretty good for the ending, but it felt rushed a lot, which I was kind of bummed about.
That's
Um,
unfortunate.
yeah, um, type thing. But and it didn't feel put together really well, I guess you could say. Just felt kind of eh. So
Just me.
just meh. So hopefully, you know, it's an ending, so it's done, it's over. We'll have to worry about it later. So I for this season, I give it a meh, my 2 to 2.5 space RPs. Have an overall, I got it at about 1.5. um, type thing because there was a lot of great shenanigans and a lot of good fun and a lot of good special effects and everything for all the other seasons, and it was really really good. And this one just felt let down, especially for series finale.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Um, let's see. I don't think there was much of anything. Like I says, I watched a lot of like I said, I did watch a lot of Olympics.
Hmm.
So that was good. It's over. Everything's going in.
I had
Um,
45 hours playing Baldur's Gate.
soon you're gonna
Because,
be getting a lot of hours in another game once you finish that, or you're ready to play.
yes, but
So,
Baldur's Gate.
which will be interesting. I just got an email. I have a package that's going to be arriving on Wednesday
Ooh.
from a good friend of ours. So Wednesday, if everything happens correctly, I'll keep track of the tracking. It's coming by UPS, but I should have Wednesday night should be a new unboxing and so on and so forth of some new
Ooh.
models.
Ooh. I might have to lurk in for that. I'll be playing D&D with a friend, but I might have a tab open
Yeah,
and look at the stuffs.
yeah. So we'll have to see because I actually have a very awesome paint scheme I want to work on with this model system that I got coming to me.
That's gonna
So
be great. All the nerd crack.
all the nerd crack. It's gonna slow down my painting of my Warcrow and my frogs because I promised I would do this. And us being content creators, we got to do the cool things to get the cool things. So,
Yep.
other than that,
Yep.
so pay attention. Hopefully, we have some cool stuff on Wednesday from the UPSs. So,
Oh, all the packages.
all the packages. Ugh.
Get that package serotonin.
Yeah. So, guys, we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate you listening. We're sorry Nerd couldn't make it. She'll see if she can get in next week or this Wednesday. Make sure you join us. Wednesday, I'll be doing some painting, probably putting models together because I probably got a ton of things to put together with the package that's coming. And we'll see you then. Like we said, make sure you take care of each other. Make sure you look after each other. If your attitude is always wanting to be down on somebody or just being a problem and being hateful and mean all the time, don't be around people. I mean, there's too much shitty things in the world, and if you can't do it without being nice, don't do it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And nobody got time for that. We're here for a short amount of time. I want to make sure that everybody's having a good time. So, as always, if you see something, say something. If you hear something, say something. And if you can do something, do something. If you can't, find somebody that will, because we've got to look after each other. For More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
Not Mizzy.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to More Than Dice, making the world a better, nerdier place, one dumb joke at a time. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. For more nerdy action or to connect with your hosts, check them out on Facebook.com/morethandice and Twitch.tv/more_than_dice. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay proud, and we'll see you soon on the More Than Dice podcast.